Black Lives Matter is one of the biggest scams of the last decade. I used to be one of those people that was like, oh, Black Lives Matter, but, I'm not affiliated with the organization, or we can say BLM and not mean the organization and blah, 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 blah. I'm done with that. I am no longer going to say Black Lives Matter. I'm no longer going to post BLM, nothing of the sort, nothing like that, because there is no way I can separate BLM, Black Lives Matter, any of those sayings from Black Lives Matter, the organization, because they popularized it. Everyone knows what you mean when you say that. Everyone's minds go back to that organization when you say that. So from here on out, my actions, my lifestyle, the policies and legislation I support, that's how I will be supporting Black lives. That's how I will be supporting, criminal justice reform and ending police brutality. I'm not going to tie myself to that slogan or to that phrase. I'm completely done with it. There are no redeemable qualities of the organization as a whole. I just cannot align myself with it, even if I just say Black Lives Matter, because as I said, we all know you think of the organization when you think of that slogan, and the organization is a scam. Let's go. So have you heard of the name Patrisse Cullors?
Myself and Alicia in particular are trained organizers. We are trained Marxists. We are super versed on sort of ideological theories.
She is one of the 3 main women who co-founded Black Lives Matter when this whole thing started. Ferguson riots, Trayvon Martin, before George Floyd. Black Lives Matter was the organization to be a part of. Everybody was chanting Black Lives Matter. Everyone was chanting BLM. They were raking in donations, hundreds of millions of donations. In 2020 alone, after BLM kind of had a revival with George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and all these horrible cases, they raked in $90 million in the year of 2020. Now, you might be thinking, well, isn't that just great? Isn't that just fine and dandy that the victims of police brutality, their families, their communities, they're receiving $90 million? Wow. I can't believe that people still fall for this. It started off by seeing BLM making donations to Democratic PACs or possibly endorsing Democratic candidates. And I'm sitting here like, this is completely politically motivated. It's very clear to see. Maybe I'll just stick with saying, Black lives do matter, but I'm not affiliated with the organization because I'm a conservative. I don't support Democrats typically. But it got even deeper than that. It got even deeper because now we have the families of some of these victims of police brutality saying that BLM is a scam. Because now we're out here having Patrisse Cullors, the self-proclaimed trained Marxist, out here owning several $1 million worth of property. Where's the money coming from, Patrisse? Where's the money coming from? All my life, I have heard that the best activists, the true activists, are not rich. They're not making money off their activism. They're certainly not making money off of dead kids, off of dead Black people, off of dead Black people's families. So how does a Marxist become a millionaire? Because Patrisse has bought 4 homes in the last 4 years, 3 in LA, 1 in suburban Atlanta. All of them very, very expensive homes. Most recently, Miss Cullors has purchased a $1.4 million home near Malibu in LA. Now tell me, just make it clear for me, how are you a pro-Black Marxist buying up $1 million mansions in Malibu? You think a lot of Black people live in the suburbs of Malibu? I didn't think so. I really didn't think so. Did you think that the residents of the upper class suburbs of Malibu are dealing with issues such as criminal justice and police brutality? Are you around your people? Are you in your community? Clearly not. Clearly not. And now you can see BLM is actually doing the worst possible thing imaginable by scamming the families of victims of police brutality. And a now deleted Facebook post, which I have a handy dandy screenshot of, Breonna Taylor's mother calls BLM Louisville a scam who has raised money off her daughter's name without even acknowledging who she is. And it does not just stop right there. The mothers of Richard Richner and Tamir Rice, 2 Black kids who were killed by police officers, have also come out and released a statement denouncing Black Lives Matter, denouncing Benjamin Crump. Oh, does he look familiar? Oh, is that him, the lawyer standing up in front of the George Floyd case? Okay, it's all connected. Here's a statement. I'm gonna read it. Tamika D. Mallory, Shaun King, Benjamin Crump, Lee Merritt, Patrisse Cullors, Melina Abdullah, and the Black Lives Matter Global Network need to step down, stand back, and stop monopolizing and capitalizing off our fight for justice and human rights. We never hired them to be the representatives in the fight for justice for our dead loved ones murdered by the police. The quote-unquote activists have events in our cities and have not given us anything substantial for using our loved ones' images and names on their flyers. We don't want or need y'all parading in the streets accumulating donations, platforms, movie deals, etc. off the death of our loved ones while the families and communities are left clueless and broken. Wow, that sounds really fishy. Why are all these mothers of these dead Black people killed by police coming together against BLM? Clearly, this is not a fluke. Clearly, this is not a one-time thing or just one person involved. It is Shaun King. It is Patrisse Cullors. It is Benjamin Crump. It is everybody affiliated with that fraudulent-ass organization. So I refuse to retweet, to post any Black square, to use any hashtag saying BLM because they don't care about Black people. They don't care about Black lives. They don't care about the Black families. They don't care about the Black communities. They don't even live there. They live in fucking Malibu. They're buying multi-million-dollar houses in Malibu. As someone who is not a trained Marxist, maybe I'm not so sure, I'm not so clear on, the attributes that make someone a Marxist, but I'm pretty sure that Marx hated capitalism, and I'm pretty sure Marx would be against you owning 4 multi-million-dollar homes across the country. That's just me. If you really, really want to change things in this country, look at actual criminal justice reform policies. Don't just be sending off your money to an organization that is just donating to Democrats instead of the families of the people that were killed. This shit really makes me mad because these mothers are already grieving enough. They don't need to have their names drug out in the mud. They don't need to be scammed. They don't need their children's likeness and image to be put on a poster, put on a video, and they not get anything from it. They don't need to be going through all that. It must feel like a knife being driven through their hearts again and again anytime Shaun King's lily white ass stands up there and pretends he cares about their kids while signing multi-million-dollar book deals. It's really, really ridiculous, and it really has to stop. And I'm calling on you now. If you really support Black people, if you are really pro-Black, if you want Black lives to matter, stop supporting BLM.